Good morning. Welcome to Victory Church on the Rock. We want to welcome anybody who is in the foyer to come on in and find a seat. This morning, we just encourage you to clap, get on your feet. Just engage with us. We love it when we can kind of get some interaction going. And so this morning, whatever is going on in your life, we just encourage you to push past it just for this morning and really engage. So we'll welcome you to get to your feet, and we're going to join with Martin.
Whom I that the highest King would welcome me. I was lost, but he brought me in. Oh, his love for me. Oh, his love for me. Who the sun sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. Free at last, he has ransomed me, his grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Yes, he died for me. Who the Son sets free, who is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God, yes I am. And I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. Oh, I am who you say I am. Who the Son sets free, who is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God, yes I am. Yes, Lord. Hallelujah. Who breaks the power of sin and darkness, whose love is mighty, so much stronger. The King of glory, the King above all kings. Who shakes the whole earth with holy thunder, and shines around and wonder. The King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is amazing love. That you would take my place. That you would bear my cross. You would lay down your life. That I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Who brings our chaos back into order? Who makes the orphan a son and daughter? King of glory, the King of glory, who rules the nations with truth and justice, shines like the sun in all of its brilliance. The King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is amazing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross, you would lay down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. And worthy is the Lamb who was slain, worthy is the King who conquered the grave, worthy is the Lamb who was slain, worthy is the King who conquered the grave, worthy is the Lamb who was slain, worthy is the King who conquered the grave, worthy is the Lamb who was slain, worthy, 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 yeah, this is amazing grace, this is amazing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross, you would lay down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me, all that you've done for me, yeah, all that you've done for me, all that you've done for me. You are my strength, a strength like no other, your strength like no other, and it reaches to me. You are my hope, hope like no other, hope like no other, and it reaches to me. In the fullness of your grace, in the power of your name, you lift me up, you lift me up, unfailing love, it's stronger than mountains, it's deeper than oceans, and it reaches to me. In the fullness of your grace, in the power of your name, you lift me up, you lift me up, in the fullness strength like no other, strength like no other. It reaches to me. You are my hope, hope like no other, hope like no other, and it reaches to me, and it reaches to me, and reaches to me.
God, I thank you so much this morning that even when there is feeling like there is no hope anywhere else, God, we thank you that you are the hope, that you are the only hope that we need, God. And so we just pray this morning that as we continue on in your presence, as we continue on in this atmosphere of worship, that you would just continue to fill us with that hope, God, that in the places where it's dark and where it feels really hopeless and sad, God, I just thank you that you are going to fill us with a fresh hope, God, that we would just be able to have our faith believing that you will do what you have said you are going to do, and that because we have faith, there is also hope, God. And so, yeah, we just thank you that as we move on, we would just continue to feel your presence, and that we would just, walk away this morning with something new from you this morning. In Jesus' name, amen. You guys can feel free to take a seat. If you don't know me, my name is Beth. I'm one of the pastors here. And this morning I wanted to mention, if this is your very first time at Victory Church on the Rock, you can feel free to text 587-807-0944. Text the word hello to that number, and we will send you a $5 Starbucks gift card, because we want you to know that it is important to us that you are here, that you make a difference by being here. And so if you are new, feel free to do that. We want to make sure to get that to you, and so make sure to take those steps. As we go into our giving this morning, I wanted to highlight a couple of things that have happened here in the last week. And so in the last week, we saw our youth ministry launch, which was just amazing. We had so much fun. It was so amazing to be back in a room with just a bunch of students that were, just looking for community, and it was a blast. And we, had tons of cereal. We played games. We had a little message, and it was just a lot of fun to kind of connect. And then another thing that we actually did this past week was we had our women's tailgate party, and that was tons of fun too. We had a little fire outside and lots of conversation, and I left feeling a lot lighter. I left feeling like I had a really good connection with people that I hadn't ever really connected with before. And so I want to encourage you guys. This last week, these ministries were made possible because you give. These are the things that we are called to do as a church. We are called to create programs and things for people to really get attached to find deeper relationship with God, to find deeper relationship with other believers. And maybe they are not even believers yet. We believe that when they come and they get connected, they get to have a taste of who Jesus is. And so we believe that's our mission. And when you give, that makes it possible. And so I wanted to say, we have so many more plans for even more programs that we want to launch. They are in the works. And so when you give this morning, know that those actually go and make what you give makes a big difference in this church. Because it helps to keep the lights on. It helps us to buy people a cup of coffee. It helps us to, get our youth a bowl of cereal for all we know. It's just things that help us really effectively minister to the people God has placed in this church. And so as you give this morning, there's a few ways to do that. The one way is by e-transfer. The email is on the screen. You can do it by phone. You can do it online at our website, but you can also give in person here through cash and check. And so this morning, as we move into what's next, I did want to mention that for our women's ministry, we have every third Thursday here at the church, we have a women's night. And then at the end of October, October 29th, we also have a family movie night coming up that our women's ministry is hosting. So we wanted to make sure that we highlighted those so that you can get those in your calendars. And without further ado, I'm going to welcome up Pastor Dustin. So let's give him a hand as he comes.
Yeah, we're also going to dismiss our kids right now, too. So if you're a kid, you guys can go out through that door at the back, go around the corner. There's a brand new entrance that you guys can head to for your kids' ministry. But I'm excited again to be here. Sunday morning has always become my highlight. You know, it's been awesome for us to get to know each other deeper over the past few months. And I'm just excited to be here. Again, my name is Dustin, and I'm the lead pastor here at our church. And, you know, it was, I think it was July 4th, yeah. That I shared what God had spoken to me, 7 things that I believed he was going to do the next 480 days. And one of those things was that we would have 10 small groups consisting of 10 people. That's what I felt God say. And this week, we actually had 2 start that were close to 10 people already. So it's amazing just to see already what God is doing. Our youth, I think we had 12 people. And I think on Friday night, I think we had 9 people for our women. So we're already starting to see what God has spoken, starting to actually become what's happening here in our church. And so I'm just so excited, and it hasn't even been that long. It's only been a couple of months. And I can't wait to see what he does in the next year here in our church. We've been going through the series together over the past couple weeks called Together We Go. And what this series has been is we've been walking through some of the things that God has placed in our hearts that he has for us as a church. Some of these things that we believe have already been a part of our culture, but right now we're just putting words to what we believe God is speaking to us as a church together and what he's leading us into over the next little bit. Because I believe that we can go farther together. I believe that we can do more together. I believe that we can accomplish more. We can go farther. We can do extraordinary things together. But I think for a long time, so many of us, we try and do things all by ourselves. Right? We try and be something bigger, but the reality is the only way we get bigger and stronger is together. And so I'm excited for that this is a part of what God is leading us into, that together we're going into the future. We're not going into the future alone. We're going into the future of Victory Church on the Rock together as a family. And I'm excited for what God is going to do. And we've created 7 culture statements is what we've called them on things that we believe are part of our identity here at Victory Church on the Rock. So 2 weeks ago, we shared this message called Jesus is our purpose. We believe that obviously above all else, Jesus is the reason why we are here. He is the one that we serve. And so Jesus is why we're here. Jesus is our purpose. Last week, the second statement we came is that people are our heartbeat, that we do this for each other. We do this to serve each other. We do this to expand the kingdom. We do this to expand heaven and to shrink hell. That's what we are here to do, is to bring people with us. Because again, the only thing that we bring with us when we leave this planet is other people. That's the only thing. We don't bring anything else. And so that was our heart. People are our heartbeat. And this week, the next statement that we have today is that serving is our honor. Serving is our honor. It is an honor for us to get to serve. And I'm not just talking about serving here during the week. I'm not talking just about serving here on Sunday mornings. I'm talking about it's an honor that God wants to associate with us. Say, I want you to serve other people. It is an honor that he says that to us. It's an honor, at least I believe it's an honor that he looks at us and says, hey, I want to partner with you in growing the kingdom. I want to partner with you with feeding the hungry. I want to partner with you for giving people homes, for visiting people in prison. He says that to us, and I think that is absolutely incredible. We don't have to share Jesus in the gospel, but we get to. And I believe even for some of us, it becomes a have to, because we believe in it so much. We believe in what Jesus has done in our life so much that we feel like we have to go and do it, which of course we do, but we also get to do it. We actually, we get to share the gospel with anybody we come in contact with. And I believe that is absolutely amazing. And when we look at Jesus, right, there's so many things about Jesus that make him great. So many things. If you read through the scriptures, you just see story after story, miracle after miracle, thing after thing that Jesus did that is absolutely incredible. And if maybe you're new to the faith, maybe you're newer to Christianity, maybe you're newer to church, there's something in the scriptures that I believe is just absolutely incredible. And one of the things that is absolutely amazing is that the God of the universe came down to earth as a man, as a human. He became a human and stepped into this human story, stepped into life with us and did life among us. Now, imagine with me, right? So this is God coming to earth, right? So you're seeing this guy, Jesus, has all the power he could ever wish for, right? That's what he has. Now, I imagine if I myself had that, I'm telling you how I would use that power, knowing the selfish nature we have as humans would probably, a lot of the time, not be good. Right? So Jesus comes down all the power. And if that was me, I would probably have people serving me. I would probably, I would be doing all sorts of things. I'd probably have this big house. I'd probably have this big car. And I would just have everything that I ever imagined if I really, really think about what I would want to do. But because you're literally God in human form, anything you want can happen. But Jesus, he responds so differently than I think a lot of us truly would. What he does, it says this in the book of Mark chapter 10, verse 45. For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. So Jesus has all the power. He has it all. And what does he do with the power? He actually steps into a place of being a servant. He actually steps into a place where he uses his power to help people, where he steps in and he says, hey, I'm going to bring you salvation. I'm going to bring you out of death into life. I'm going to take you from where you were to where you're supposed to go. Jesus, all the power he had, he used for humans to help and to serve all. It says, not to be served, but to serve. He had all the power and he had the abilities to do whatever he wanted. And he chose to give his life for us. He chose to give his life instead of us. He chose to give himself as a sacrifice so that we could find relationship with the Father. He gave his life. And now when we look at the most powerful people on the planet, oftentimes a word that we use to describe them is not servant. Right? You see some of the most powerful people on the planet, a lot of the time, what do we see? We see greed. We see moral failures. We see fraud. We see these people and the money they have and how poorly they treat their employees, or how poorly they act when they're on the set of a movie. When we look at people of power, oftentimes servant is not the word we see. But Jesus, he had everything, and he came down and died for us. He gave all that he was for you. Servant to all. He used his power to serve people, not scare people. A lot of people with power, they're just out here scaring people. And Jesus said, no, I'm not here to scare you, I'm here to save you. Right? Jesus came to serve us all. And today I have two questions today that I think will help us as we continue to learn how to be better servants. Because I'm telling you, when I look at my own life, I can't speak for you, but I can speak for me. There are so many times that I fail as a servant. There's so many times where I get home from work and there's dishes everywhere. Whose dishes? My dishes. And I think, you know what I don't want to do right now is the dishes, right? Y'all have that feeling when you get home from work, you're like, no, I do not want to vacuum my house, right? Like, no, I do not want to go do my laundry. Now, the problem with me in laundry is it takes me, I don't want to be sarcastic, but it takes me sometimes 10 days to do my laundry. And by then, I have another full load. You know what I'm saying? So like my life is consistently having wet clothes in the washer that I have to do over and over and over because I forget about it. Like I have ADHD, so I forget. And the best's like, hey, you have your laundry. It's been sitting in the washer. I'm like, yeah, I got to go do my laundry. So like that is not what I want to do. Sometimes I do not want to be a servant even in my own house. Like sometimes, to be honest, I do not want to serve Beth. I'm just being real. Right? I think for a lot of us, this is just the truth, is that being a servant is really challenging. Serving people that have offended us, serving people that have done things to hurt us. Serving is so hard. And the first question that I have for us today is, who do I serve? And the answer to that question, who do we serve, is we serve every single person. We serve everyone. Now, this is so easy to say, right? Like, again, it's so easy to say, but it's so hard to do. It's so hard when we have to serve our boss. The boss that is underpaying us and overworking us. You know, some of us, it's so hard to serve our kids when they're screaming at the dinner table because they don't want to eat broccoli. You're like, you're eating broccoli, bro. It's so hard to serve our kids. It's so hard to serve our spouse because our laundry is all over the floor. It's so hard sometimes to serve the people that matter to us the most. How hard is it to serve people we don't even know? Right? I think like we know, like, okay, we're married. It's like I should be a servant to my spouse 24/7. I will do that. We don't. Right? Like we need to grow so much when it comes to serving. Maybe you're like spouse of the year. Maybe you like have like, you know, employee of the month. You're like spouse of the month. You have like all these plaques on the wall. I wish I had that. But I fail over and over and over and over again when it comes to serving people. We have to serve our family even when they post things in social media that make us mad. Really. We have to serve people. And again, we know it, right? Like if we've been in church for like all of 10 minutes, we know that serving is a part of what we're supposed to do as believers. We know that. But it's so hard when we're driving on the Yellowhead, it's rush hour and someone cuts us off. Y'all know what I'm saying. Yeah, I learned a road in Edmonton. It's true. I know Yellowhead and White Mud and other roads. But it's so interesting that serving is so hard, but so important. It really is. And there's this verse, right? What I'm trying to say, I'm going to get to the verse, but what I'm trying to say is that in the midst of adversity, in the midst of our mindset, in the midst of circumstance, how often do we want to be served rather than serve? Like how often do I want people to serve me, but I'm not willing to do the same for other people? Like how often do I come to church and I step in and people are serving me week after week after week, but I'm not willing yet to step into a place of servanthood? Right? Like this is real. Like we have to become servants of all. We have to become servants of everyone. And this is what Jesus explained to his disciples in the book of Mark. And this sentence makes me laugh out loud when I read this. Because it says this, he sat down and called the 12. Okay, if you're a parent, you know when you like call your kids around you? You're like, hey, gather around. I have something important to tell you. This is what I picture Jesus doing. He's like, boys, gather around. I got something important to tell you. He sat down, sat his disciples down and said, hey, guys, this is it. He said to them, if anyone would be first, he must be last of all and a servant of all. He says, gather around. I have something important to tell you. If you think you're first, you must become last and serve everybody. A servant of all. We need to become that, a servant of all, not just to each other, not just to people that we like, not just to people who treat us well. Serving people consists of treating people with respect and dignity, no matter who they are. It means meeting the needs of people who are in need. You know, what if you as an individual were known for how you serve? What if we as a church, Victory Church on the Rock, we were known for how we serve? And I hope as we already are known for that, but my prayer is that we can just, when people think, hey, what's a church in Edmonton? Like, oh, this church, Victory Church on the Rock, they serve people well. They treat people with respect. They love people. They share the gospel freely and they love people so deeply. That's what I want us to be known for. And again, maybe we already are, but I want that to just become like people like, hey, that church serves well. And now this question, maybe you've heard this question before. It's often said, sometimes it's in like leadership, like leadership meetings. And this is question, what do you want people to say at your funeral, right? We hear this question. I've heard this question over and over and over and over. What do you want people to say at your funeral? Most people don't say, you know what I want to be known for? Sitting on my couch watching sports, eating potato chips. Right? Like no one says that. Like no one's like, you know what I'll be known for? I want to be known for how poorly I treated my family. But you know what happens is the people we want to become, because really when that question, what it's saying is, who's the person you want to be at the end of your life? The decisions that we make today to serve people will drastically affect what people think when we leave. And so when you look at that, like what do you want to be known for in your life? You know, we need to start making decisions now that will lead us to a place where we're actually in a place where we want it to be. We serve all people. We don't just serve some people, but we serve every single person. We serve our clients at work. We serve our children at home. We serve each other on Sundays. We serve. That is who we need to be. So that first question, who do we serve? Well, the answer is everyone. We serve everyone. The second question I have today is, how do I serve? And the answer to that is through this word, gifts. When we look at serving, we also need to take an internal look and realize what we're gifted in. Like what is different about you? What is something inside of you that is amazing that only you have? What do you have to offer to this world? What do you have inside of you that the world is looking for? What do you have inside of you that the church needs? What do you have inside of you? What has God already given you? Some of us, when we look at serving, we serve in a place of we wish we could serve in a different place. Like some of us, we shouldn't be leading worship. Some of us, our voices, we sound like dying mooses. Meese? You know what I'm saying? Like there's just some things about you, to be honest, you're not good at. Like it's just the truth. Like there's some things about you you're not good at, but also there's some things about you that you're a genius at. There's something inside of you that the world is looking for. And once we take an internal look and realize what we're good at, that's when we realize how we can serve. 1 Peter 4:10 says this, as each has received a gift, use it to what? To serve one another as good stewards of God's varied grace. Use it to serve one another. With the gifts that God has placed inside of you, use it to serve each other. If you're excellent at cooking, cook me a meal. Or each other too, though. Like if you're good at something, use your gift to serve other people. That you have something inside of you that people need. You have something inside of you. And some of us, we've gone through life for so long thinking, I can't serve because I have nothing to offer. I don't have anything. You should hear my story and how hard things were. And I just don't have anything to offer. But I have a list here from the Bible of some gifts. There's a lot of gifts mentioned in the Bible, but some gifts, some incredible gifts. And no gift is more than, no gift is less than, no gift is better, no gift is worse. Like these are just gifts that you might have inside you. Again, this isn't the full list, but one is evangelism. Number two is prophecy, teaching, exhortation, shepherding, showing mercy, serving, giving, and administration. And again, there's more. But maybe you have these gifts inside of you and you haven't even realized it yet. Maybe you have the gift of giving inside of you, but you've never actually unlocked it because you've never actually stepped into a place of doing it. Maybe you have this gift of administration, but you've never actually been put in a place where you can actually use that gift. Or maybe you have a gift of teaching, but you've never have been given the opportunity to teach. And these are all gifts that I believe every single person in this room, everyone watching online, there's something inside of you that this world needs. Maybe you have a compassionate heart. And you get drawn to people that are hurting and broken, and you want to do all that you can to take care of people and sit with them and be with them. You can show mercy so easy. Or maybe you've always been generous Anytime there's a need financially, you're the first to step up. You say, yeah, there's a need, I'm gonna step in, I'm gonna give because I know that this is something that I can do to bless somebody, or I can do to bless a ministry or bless a church or bless something or give this to somebody. Like some of us were super gifted when it comes to generosity. You know, you see the need and you just give. But I want to tell you, nobody on the planet is built the way that you are. And sometimes we take our gifts for granted. We don't actually realize they're gifts because we believe that they're human nature. Okay? And so some of us, we have the gift of teaching. And we believe that everybody has this gift. We just think it's so easy to teach. We think it's so easy to stand on a platform and just share. But some people, that is literally like the last place they want to be. Like that, and they think, you know what, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go share on a stage. They're like, no, I'd rather stay home. And some of us, we take our gifts for granted because we believe that everybody's gifted in the same way we are. But the reality is that we're actually not. For me, administration is not my gift, okay? Beth knows this deeply. I am not good at administration. It doesn't come naturally to me. But there's other things that I am gifted at. There's other things that I excel at. There are other things that I do well. There's other things that I actually can do super, super well. And for me, when I look at some of my top gifts, one of them would be serving. That's just something that I can like overserve, just like the way I am. Like Beth's like, hey, you're gonna come home? I'm like, no, I'm just serving everybody right now. She's like, serve me. I'm like, you're right. You know, like I'm also like one thing that I'm gifted in is showing mercy. So one thing that I'm passionate about is human trafficking. This is just something that I'm super passionate about. And when I hear stories and I see videos and it just breaks my heart, I'm like, no, I need to go like fix every world problem right now in this moment. Other people, they see that and like, oh, that sucks. And there's nothing wrong. Like there's nothing wrong with this. Like we're all built differently. But you need to tap into what it is that you are good at. Maybe you're interested in learning more about your gifts. Maybe you're like, I don't know yet. Like, what am I good at? So we found this online gifts test that you can do that'll help you kind of navigate. Maybe what am I good at? And so if you're interested in this gifts test, we have a way that you can get access to it. There's two ways. Number one is you can text this word gifts, GIFTS, right? Yeah, gifts. Text gifts to 587-807-0944. If you text that, it's going to send you a link to that gifts test. If maybe you're like, I don't know how to text, come talk to me after the service and I can email it to you, or I can write it on a piece of paper for you, or I can print it for you. But if you're interested in learning more, and maybe we'll keep that on the screen a little longer, but if you're interested in learning more about what your gifts are, text this number and text gift. There's a link, click it, fill it out, and I believe it'll give you an awesome opportunity to look in. It'll give you your top 3 gifts that you excel at as a human. So if you're interested, fill that out and learn it. But there's this book, it's called Now Discover Your Strengths. I don't know if you've ever heard of this book. It's written by Marcus Buckingham and Donald Clifton. And in this book, they dive into how each person has certain strengths that they excel in and how we also have weaknesses, right? So there's things about us that we are good at, some things that we're strong in, some things, but there's also things that we have that are weaknesses. And in this book, they say the dilemma is that most people spend all their time investing in their weaknesses. So we spend all our time trying to grow the things that we are not good at. And what happens is when we do that, the return is very small. Right? When we invest all our time in the things that we are not good at, you're gonna get better, but small amounts. But they say that if you spend time actually investing your time in your strengths, you're gonna see exponential growth. Because I think we feel as humans that we don't wanna be weak. Right? Like I know for me when somebody says, hey, you're not good at that. That like hurts me, you right? Like, hey, when I was a kid, I went into the doctor's office. I had this problem when I was a child, and I would puke like when I was a baby. I would puke like 50 times a day. So what happened is I actually burned my vocal cords when I was a baby. And I went into the doctor's office because I used to at school, right? I'd be screaming and yelling and screaming and yelling, and I would lose my voice. So I went into the doctor, they put a camera like in me. And the doctor, he pulled the camera. I said, you know what? One thing that you're never going to be able to do is sing. Just to be real with you. You're never going to be able to do it. And then literally 2 years later, I was at this youth camp, and this guy, he came up to me, he's like, hey, like, I don't know you, but one thing I feel is that God wants you to start like playing music and leading. I was like, bro, no. The doctor told me I can't. Right? And he's like, well, I think God's telling you you can though. Like, and so for a long time it was a struggle, right? Because I felt like this is something that was so deep in my heart. Like something I was like, I want to do this so badly, but I was in this struggle of, can I do this? Can I not do this? And you know what I was doing? I was investing in things that weren't going to be my best strengths. And you know, and then obviously now like I lead worship now. Right? And so like what I had to do is I had to invest in something that I knew I wanted, something that I knew was a strength, even though I was told it was a weakness. Right? Sometimes your biggest strengths, people will look at you and say, that's your weakness. Right? They look at you like, oh, you just get angry all the time. You're like, no, like I'm just passionate. Right? And we say all these things are like, oh, that's actually your weakness. But what we need to do is if we know we have a strength, you need to invest in your strength. Because you will see exponential growth. Maybe your gift is maybe hospitality. You know, you love having people in your home and serving people and having big meals and taking care of people. And that's your gift. Like use it. Like use your gift. Use what you have. I want to encourage you, find out your strengths. Find out your gifts. And invest in making them better. You know, for me, one thing that I believe is a gift of mine is communication. And for a long time, I think when you're naturally talented, you oftentimes don't practice. You don't try and get better. You know, the greatest athletes, they only become better because they practice. And so I looked at that and said, you know, I want to become a better communicator. I want to become better at speaking. And so now I invest a lot of time into growing that inside of me. Like, to be honest, I don't spend a lot of time trying to get better at administration. I just don't, because I know that God has something different for me. It's not better, it's not worse, it's just different. So find out what you're good at and invest time, energy, even money into the things that you want to grow in, the things that you believe that you're gifted at, the things that you believe are amazing inside of you. And I want to get back to this thought quickly of some of us, we don't want to serve people. We don't want to serve at church because we feel that we have nothing to give. We feel like I'm useless. Like I don't have anything. Like I can't lead worship. I can't speak. I'm not good with kids. Like I'm not good at this stuff. And what I think happens is when we don't use what God has given us, I believe we become stagnant. Right? Because some of us, we don't even know what we're good at, right? We've been told our whole life, you suck. Like really? We've been told like you can't accomplish anything. You're not capable. You're not good enough. You're not talented enough. That's what we've been told. So we think, nothing I can do, like that's who I am. No, it's not who you are. Jesus wouldn't have placed something, God wouldn't have placed something inside of you for you to not use it. I believe He has something for inside of you and inside of each of us that the world is waiting for. And I don't care if you're 10 years old or 150 years old, I don't care. It's never too late to tap into what God has for you. It's never too late to tap into the potential of the gifts inside of you. It's never too late. It never is. Because maybe you have to take a deep look inside. Maybe you have to look outside your comfort to see what the world needs. Maybe you have to take a step out of your comfort zone to see what the church needs. what the world needs. And because I want to encourage you, you have what it takes. You really do. You have something to offer. Because if you're not dead, he's not done. If there's still breath in your lungs, he's not done using you for building heaven. He's not. But I think one of the problems that a lot of us have is that we're so scared to die that we never actually truly live. Right? We never actually truly live in the potential and the life that God has created us for. We never actually do it because we're so afraid of embarrassing ourselves. We're so afraid of failing. We're so afraid of all these things. And so we never actually truly live. And I believe, it's beautiful because Jesus takes us from death to life. He wants you to live, right? Like he placed these things inside of you. And I want to encourage you to use them. Take a step in that direction. Take a step towards growing yourself. We have some amazing serving opportunities here for everyone at Victory Church on the Rock. I believe everyone. I believe every single human on this planet can serve. It doesn't matter how young they are, how old they are. My baby just turned 1. She was a flower girl at a wedding. To be honest, didn't do the greatest job. I saw her running in a field. There's no flowers on the pedway, walkway, whatever. But she served. And she was cute. But I want to encourage you can serve. I believe every single human on this planet can serve. We're looking for people to help us with our kids programs. We're looking for people to help us with our new youth program. We're looking for people to help us when it comes to worship. We're looking for people to help us when it comes to reopening our coffee bar. We're looking for people to help us with ushering, people to help us with all of these things, to help us. And why? Because we serve everyone. And why do we serve everyone? At least for me, because I want to bring people with me when I go. I want to bring my friends and my family and the people I see on the street. I want them to come with me. That's why we serve. We serve because we love people so deeply. And we serve everyone with what God has placed inside of us. So if you're interested in serving, I think it's on the screen, but you can text SERVE to get into that same number, 587-807-0944. It's going to bring up this form that you can fill out. And once you fill it out, we're going to get your information. And then we can reach out to you. Specifically to, right now, we need a lot of help when it comes to our kids. That's one of our biggest needs right now as our church is our kids ministry. So if you're interested in serving in kids ministry, please let us know. Text that number. Text SERVE to that number. We are so looking forward to serving with you. And again, another thing we want to say is we want to say thank you to every single person who serves here at our church. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for dedicating your time to building what God is doing here. Dedicating your time to creating a place where people can come and they can find Jesus. Thank you for serving, and thank you for what you already have done when it comes to serving over the past 20, 30 years. Thank you. And I can speak for probably all the previous pastors too. Thank you for serving. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for what you've done to build this place. Thank you. Because we can't do it alone. Together we go. It can't just be the pastor going, right? And everyone's like, oh, see ya. It has to be all of us going together into the future. Saying those 7 things, 480 days, those can happen. I truly believe it, but they happen when we go together, not when we try and go alone. Let us go together. Today we have a takeaway. This is our takeaway. It says, serving is our honor. We serve everyone with the gifts that God has given us. We serve everyone with the gifts that God has given us. We serve everyone. You know, I'm excited for what God's going to continue to do. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for everything, and it's going to be amazing. I'm excited, and I hope that all of us, we can share an excitement for building what God is doing here at Victory Church on the Rock. We're so excited for the future. But at this time, I'm going to encourage you to stand with us. You know, we're gonna sing this song together, and it's called "How He Loves," and you've probably heard it. Even if you're new to church, you've probably honestly heard the song. And this song, it's the chorus is super basic, but one thing I just want to encourage you to do in this moment is, as we sing, like really dive deep into the thought that Jesus loves you. Like he wants relationship with you. He wants you. And he loves you so much. He died for you. So let's sing this song with our team.
He is jealous for me. He loves like a hurricane. I am a tree bending beneath the weight of his wind and mercy. And all of a sudden I am unaware of these afflictions eclipsed by glory, and I realize just how beautiful you are and how great your affections are for me. And oh, how he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us, how he loves us so. He is jealous for me. He loves like a hurricane. I am a tree bending beneath the weight of his wind and mercy. And all of a sudden I am unaware of these afflictions eclipsed by glory, and I realize just how beautiful you are and how great your affections are for me. Oh, he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. And we are his portion, and he is our prize, drawn to redemption by the grace he is ours. Grace is an ocean, we're all sinking. In heaven meets earth like an unforeseen kiss. My heart beats violently inside of my chest, and I don't have time to maintain these regrets when I think about the way that he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Yeah, he loves us. Oh, how
Well, thank you for coming out today. We are so glad that you joined us this Sunday. I just wanted to remind you that if you text SERVE to 587-807-0944, that gives us some information, and we will definitely work with you to find the best spot for you to serve. I wanted to extend an invitation to our students again this Tuesday night at 7. We just have basically like a small group time from 7 to 8:30 where we hang out, we get to know each other a little better. And so that is also a possibility if you are looking to serve. We always need more people to come and just form connections with our students. We believe that is one way that we can keep students through high school, through graduation, through university. We believe that if they find relationship here and connection, that it's a really, really good start to keeping them in church and serving and plugged in. As everyone is heading out this morning, if you need prayer for absolutely anything, Pastor Dustin and I will be at the front, and we would love to stand with you in that. And so we would love to see you out again next Sunday. We don't have registration, so please feel free to invite people out. We love to see new faces, especially in this time where many churches are at capacity. We still have space for extra people. So welcome people out, and we will see you again next Sunday.